In this video, we'll take a look at how to enter a new song or sequence in the most simple manner. Well, when you open up the video presenter, your screen may look something like this. There are two locations you can go to enter a new sequence. Either here, in the Sequences panel, you'll see the word Sequences there. You can click on the drop arrow and have a choice of just creating a simple new sequence with the background that is set as the default, or you can hover your mouse over New Template, pick any kind of template that you've created in here, or you can create a sequence from a PowerPoint presentation. We'll have videos on those two a little later on. Also, you can go up here from the Home tab. You'll see the Home tab right there. You can either click right on this icon, or you can open the drop list and pick New Template, or again from New PowerPoint Presentation. By the way, if you're creating a presentation using a PowerPoint slideshow, you have to have PowerPoint on your system. Okay, to begin with, I'll just start by clicking this button here, and this will open up our song editor. If you don't have enough room on your screen, I'm using a HD formatted laptop, you may have to go over and close some of these panels. You'll notice a little push pin in the upper corner here. You can click that push pin and hide the panel. You can return it by clicking the tab over here and then clicking the push pin again. That'll bring it back. So I'm going to close that panel because it's in the way, and I like to have a lot of room here, and I'll show you why once we start going to the Slides tab. Looking at this row of numbers here, these are going to be numbers you can manually select for your verse tags or your chorus tags. It's not essential that you use chorus tags. Verse tags are all that's really needed. If you're in a hurry, you can click Auto Tags and it'll place the first verse tag in the sequence for you. You can then simply start typing, and I'll start typing a sample. And when you're creating these verses for presentation, you want to try and keep your lines of text fairly short to make them so they're easy to read. We also suggest you use upper-lower case for your text. It is difficult to read uppercase text for the whole song. Okay, and I'll just type a few more lines here. And if you like, with the auto tags turned on right here, all I need to do now to get to my next verse is hit enter 2 times. And okay, if you needed to put a space and you have this going automatically, you can delete that tag. Actually, what you have to do is uncheck the auto tags. Then you can delete the tag and create a break in your paragraph. Then you can continue. I'll hit enter 2 times, and now I'll hit this number here manually. Since I've got verse 1 and 2 tag already, I'll click a 3 here. And you'll have to watch out for your spelling mistakes as well. We don't want to have spelling mistakes presented. If you run out of numbers here, say you're doing a long sequence, which could be like a set of announcements, or it could be sermon notes or some kind of teaching notes, you may want to look at the other numbers. You see, as we hit that up arrow here, it will increase the numbers. So you can go as high as you want. It'll just keep counting. Of course, you don't want to overdo it. You end up with a fairly cumbersome sequence. but like I say here, there's not really a limit as to how many you can do. Once you have your sequence done, like I've done here, you can then click on, by the way, you should always start out with an uppercase title. Try and keep it uppercase because it'll look a lot nicer when it's projected. If you have a year that you know the item was created, and you can put in the copyright. I'll put in something like that. And if you don't know the author, you might want to put unknown in there, but you can leave it blank. And if you are tracking the tempo and the usage and the style, you can enter those values there. After you've filled in the title information, you could at that point save and quit, or save and immediately add this song to the playlist by clicking one of these buttons over here. We'll also take a look at how to add audio files and various other things in other videos. But next we would click on the slides. And you're now presented with a text frames. You'll see the title frame, and you'll see these values. If I click in here, you'll see the actual field names. Okay, these can be formatted, but we'll have a lesson on how to format these. So if you wanted to have your author name and copyright a different color or a different size, you could do that. We'll look at that in another video. At this point, you'll see that we have 3 thumbnails created, and if you needed to at this point in time, you can click in here and actually edit the text here. Okay, so you have the ability to edit that text, and you also have the ability to highlight this text and go up here and format the text. Again, we'll have that in another video. So basically that's all there is to entering a song. One last little thing I'll show you here is we could go over to the Explorer here, and where you see VPR Media Backgrounds, we can go and select a folder under our backgrounds, say Frosted Glass, double click, and I'll pull out the Frosted Glass and drag and drop it over to the top slide. When I release it, all the successive slides are formatted. And if you right click on any given slide, there are some options there. Again, we'll look at those in more detail in other videos and in other tutorials. So that concludes creating a song. Now I'll just finish by saving this. Rather than saving it and quitting, I'm going to save it and add it to the playlist, just so that you can see what it looks like. Okay, so now we've added it to our playlist. Our previewer over here is showing us roughly what it's going to look like when it's presented. And I'll just change this to thumbnail view. I'll bring also back our sequences list here, just because my personal preference is to have that available at all times. And I will click the show button, and let's just see what we have. And there's our song. I'll press my space bar, and there's your break. Notice the break is showing there, and the last verse. So that concludes this video. Be sure to watch the other videos on how to format your text and use templates to create your sequences.